times I had a writer write a book for me, and it really wasn't that good. So I would kind of just pay the person, and then I would
revise
make it the way that I wanted it. Yeah. And
so you'd go in it. Gotcha. Okay. And I kind of did the same thing. And now what I'll use is I'll use editors every once in a while. So I'll have an editor or two that when I need, like I kind of call them my on-demand editors. So whenever I need them and I feel like a book may need a little bit of touching up or polishing up, I can say, hey, Mary, can you go in and take a look at this one? And she'll usually get it back to me like in a couple of hours or a day or so at the most. So, for me, it was first understanding like this concept of, you've got authors like, of late Tom Clancy or Stephen King or, Agatha Christie, who have put out a lot of content, and, unless they're like tied to their desk, there's no way that they can create that much content on their own, right? So a lot of the big names that you hear out there that are really selling a ton of books use ghostwriters, and some of them have teams of ghostwriters actually.
Yes.
So that was very eye-opening to me. And then to hear like Bill Clinton, right, for his memoir, he had a ghostwriter, and just all of these people that are really out there and we don't think about it. So now, when you first got started, you started with one ghostwriter or two ghostwriters, or?
Actually, I think I just did one ghostwriter. I'd use one. If I liked him a lot, I might use him again. But usually I just kind of wanted to see what was out there. So I would put up another ad on Odesk and get a different writer. I was putting it out for everybody. So I would get different countries.
Gotcha.
And I've heard now that you don't do that, but I would get people from different countries trying to write it, and I'd hire them, and they just did a poor job. They said, "Oh, I'm so good at this," but now I know to just do certain countries, because you get a lot better writers that way, because a lot of them don't speak the language fluently, and it's and they say they do, and you get it back, and it's like they don't. So and that's hard, because do you pay them? Do you not pay them? And I usually would, but I would never use them.
Right.
It wasn't really that much.
I think you said something that's super important, and that is hiring people that are from English-speaking countries primarily, right? The U.S., Canada. And even sometimes when you go out to like countries like the UK or so, there may be a slight variance in the words, right? So you might see something, or the spelling, real lies, like they spell real lies in the UK, I believe, with we spell it REALIZE, and I think they use the S in place of the Z. So things like that, if your readers are reading your material and they're not used to seeing that, then they may think that that's just an error, right? Or so you want to make sure that you're using people that are in the US or Canada, or at least, what I found also is using folks that are from the US but that are living in other countries too. I've got a great husband and wife writing team that are actually from the US. They're actually from Ohio, but they live in Switzerland now. So it just works out well for them.
Yeah.
Right? So when I first put together Kindle Cash Flow, my goal was to like create this system that can be duplicated by anyone. I actually used my daughter Maya at the time. I think she was 12 or so. And I said, okay, if I can create, because I had purchased so many programs, like a lot of people, I purchased a lot of programs online that were not really easy to follow. And I don't consider myself to be the most technical individual. So I needed something that was going to be straightforward and that someone can follow and get results. So I kind of used my daughter Maya, she was like 12 at the time, as a guinea pig. So I said, if a 12-year-old can follow the steps in its most simplest form and get results, then I'm onto something. So she ended up getting results. And then I went in and I kind of added on to that and added on to it as we revised it over the years. And you're living proof of this, not an author, not someone that has ever written a book before, but you've made collectively, we talked about this, $100,000 publishing Kindle books. That's not a small amount of money. That's a significant amount of change. Would you see that? Do you think that the system was developed, the Kindle Cash Flow system was developed so that you can follow it and get results?
When I got your program 8, 9 years ago, it was easy to follow. It was really easy to follow. And that's why I got my first book up very quickly, and it did pretty well. And it was really cool to go from that, because I went very quickly through it because I wanted to start making money. I wanted to get that first book up there.